Second. There we go. So we are live on YouTube. My name is Philip. I have been running Talk and Talk since 2016. I have shared about myself millions and billions of times, and I'm here just to start out this conversation. And the topic is overcoming fear and building confidence. I enjoy it too much, but unfortunately, I cannot handle the entire meeting. Okay. As I know that you have been involved in around the Talk and Talk platform for quite a while now, so I'm pretty sure you can have this conversation going. Sydney or Luis, oh Sydney, would you mind taking like the leadership, just asking and answer questions like it was supposed to the host to be doing? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we can do that.
So start your presentation and then you ask the others, Luis, Carlos, and Christian Jimenez about this topic. And then just let the conversation flow. You don't need to follow all the questions. It's just a
Okay.
guidance, okay? And make sure that everybody speaks. Okay, so everybody do not take control of the speaking moment. Other people they want to speak as well. All right?
Okay. Good.
So we have the question. Christian, do you have the questions there in the chat? Yeah, very good. So overcoming fear and building confidence. All right. So Sydney, it's all yours. You're the host. Enjoy the experience. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go. I'm gonna I'm gonna go. So see ya. Bye bye.
Okay. Good. Okay. So, guys, good afternoon. My name is Sidney. I'm 39 years old. I currently live in Belo Horizonte. I work as an accountant, so I have 20 years of experience in that field. Well, I'm here on Talk first to enhance my ability in English. Secondly, I think to boost my skills in communication skills, I think it's very important. Even in Portuguese, I feel that I need to improve that ability. I don't know to say in English, but my oratória in Portuguese. So I think it's one of the keys to achieve a true fluency. Uh, what else? In my free time, I like to read books, articles in English. I like to do a lot of things in English, watch movies, TV series without subtitles. I like to listen to music as well, like rock music from the 80s and 90s years. I like to play retro games when I have time. So in this moment, it's a kind of rare for me. But games from the Super Nintendo, Mega Drive, PS1, that kind of consoles. I like to play some games with my son as well, like board games. And spend my time hang out with my wife, talk with her, a lot of subjects. So it was a little about me, guys. And about you, Luis, can you introduce yourself,
Sure,
please?
sure. Hello, guys. Good afternoon. My name is Luis. I'm 44 years old. I'm from Campo Grande City. Today I am a data analyst, and in the future I'm trying to become a AI specialist. I think something related to with AI. And I live in Campo Grande. In my spare time, I love to learn about music. I like to hear music and a lot of outside activities. Thanks for asking.
Good, very good. And Christian, could you introduce yourself for us, please?
Sure. Hello, guys. My name is Christian Jimenez. I am from Bolivia. However, I currently live here in Brazil, in Curitiba, Paraná. I work in IT area as well as a software developer. I've been working in that area for almost 12 years. By the way, I'm English host as well here. I couldn't take this immersion because I'm in service time. So if somebody needs me in my work, I need to leave the conversation. So that's why I didn't accept to replace the official host here. In my free time, I really enjoy playing volleyball, football. Singing as well is one of my favorite hobbies. I'm here as well like you because I need to leveling up my English because English and French actually they are so important for my future plans. I would like to move to another country, so that's why I'm here in order to improve my English skills. I'm 36. Let me see what else. I think that's it about, a little bit about me, guys.
Okay, good, Christian. Let's go to the first question. What is a fear you've overcome and how did you do it? Well, for me, guys, I have some fears, and some of them I have to, how can I say, to overcome. I have to pay attention in them because it could become a serious problem for me. For example, fear about unemployment. Even though I work in a field that the unemployment rate is used to be less. It is the rate used to be low, but I have fear to stay in that position without a job. Uh, Although as well I have 20 years of experience, so for me it would be not so difficult to find that job. But the problem is to find a job with a quality with some let's say, a good job. I would say that because job we can find as soon as we have a qualifications, certifications, some years of experience. But to find a job in a good company with some advantages and fringe benefits, I would say that it could be difficult as long as the most of the countries have faced some financial problem and they are cutting some staff. Another problem I have to a fear I have to overcome is about burnout. And another psycho problem about it because I have been working so hard. I work in a I work in a small company, so there I only responsible I'm responsible working in the accounting department. So simultaneously, I start to work in the financial department. So I have been working that two positions for the last 9 years. I would say that, and the people they trust me a lot. So even if some problem happened and some assistant could fix it. The partners, they always ask me, they call me for their room and they try to and ask me to help the people. So when it happened, I feel a little fatigue, exhausted that I need to participate in that process. So I start to talk with them that the company is growing so fast that I need someone. They need to change their vision and not to call me, but give that uh, demand for the department, and someone will start to resolve it. But the trust in other people, not just on me. So I think it was one of the fear that I have to overcome. What's your opinion about that first question, Christian?
So, related my fears, it's difficult to say really. So, the last year I had a kind of uh, how can I say it? We have some activities on my company at the finish of the year where we get together and we do a lot of different activities just for celebrating, I would say. And the last year we went to do some let me see. I'm gonna say that again. Activities in nature, like in the forest. And one of them was tirolesa. I don't know how to say that in English. And I am really afraid of heights. So I said, okay, it's the time that I need to face it because some years ago I had the opportunity to go to those parks in the United States, like SeaWorld, Universal Studios with my wife. And because of my fear of heights, I didn't get those rides because they were so, in my personal opinion, so there was a lot of adrenaline in my body, and I thought I was not capable to do that at that time. So I always regret that experience because I paid a lot of money for going to those parks, but I didn't get those rides that I think people normally go or in those parks for experiencing that. So the last year I said, no, I need to do that because kind of the experience was kind of similar. So I took my all of the things that I needed to do the tirolesa, and I did it. It was not that bad, but I think that going to those montañas rusas, I don't know how to say that in English. But I think that the experience is different. Perhaps in the future, I will face those because I think that that one that I did the last year was my first step. Maybe more ahead, I will do that again. Maybe in those road coasters, I think. Yeah, that's it. That's my experience.
Yeah, interesting because I have fear of heights as well, but I promised for myself that before my death I will try to do that bungee jump. I think so. It will be a very challenging for me, but I need to try it at least once. And what about you, Luis? Your opinion on that question?
Well, when I was a very kid, I had a lot of fear to swim in the river, you know, and I live in a very beautiful environment because I have a lot of rivers here, a lot of good nature, and I can't swim and enjoy all the potential of the place that I went with my friends. But I started to learn. I took some class to learn to swim, and little by little I started to face this fear, swimming and diving, these kind of things, and I could enjoy more these hobbies. I think this is this.
Good, Luis. Luis, can you read and answer the next question for us, please?
Okay, question number two. How do you react when you are faced with an unfamiliar or intimidating situation? Well, I think that the first step that I try is is try to understand what is real and what my mind is telling to me, because sometimes our thoughts lie to us, because fear is like a break, and I try to understand the situation and try to see the real consequence that an unfamiliar situation is create for me. So I try to be more sober possible to face to deal with the situation, something like that.
Yeah, interesting, Luis, what you said, because for me, depend of that the situation, a familiar situation, I feel a freeze and I don't have any reaction, and I need to, I think, to improve something in order to have the quick reaction. For example, one day, once a criminal people tried to assault me, to steal it. So instead to give my cell phone for him, I stay freeze and he asked me 3 times and I stay in the same situation, like a statue. So he put he put his hand in my pocket and he took my cell phone. After that, he threatened me to kill me if I said something. But well, in some situation, for example, in situation, some flats, yeah, like I said, I feel freeze and I don't have a right reaction. So I think I need to pay attention more, maybe uh, do some therapy or seek for some professional, some help from a professional to help me in that situation. And what about that question for you, Christian?
So I think that it's normal for everybody to feel kind of uncomfortable at the beginning when you face something that is unfamiliar to you, or it's a new situation that you are feeling. And in my case, it's not different. Every time that I have to face those kind of experiences, I think that it depends of the context. If it's something like maybe similar that you mentioned at Sydney, that is an assault, or if somebody there is a robber who wants to maybe take something from me or from my family, I freeze at the moment because I've never experienced those kind of situation before, so perhaps I'm not ready to face that. And at the time that it arrives, I don't know how I'm going to handle it. But I need to be prepared for that because nowadays not that safe here in well in general in any place. So, but I would say that in overall, I feel uncomfortable. I think that my body and my mind get out of their comfort zone, and it's difficult to think at that moment. Um, so, yeah, it's maybe something it's what I wanted to add. Or that's my answer.
Okay. Christian, could you read the next question for us, please? And answering.
Sure. hmm What's a small step someone can take to start building more confidence? So, firstly, it's face. No, firstly, it's accept that you need to do that. For example, in my case, I'm gonna give an example. Nowadays, I'm preparing myself to take the IELTS test, that it's a proficiency test in English. So every time that I need to practice writing, my mind wants to procrastinate. I'm sure that my mind don't want to do that because I feel so uncomfortable doing that because it's a skill that I don't know so much. I don't know that good at. So at that moment, I need to understand that I really need that for a reason, for an important reason. And although I don't want to do that, or my mind don't want to do that, doesn't want to do that, I need to start. And when you start, you feel okay. I did the most difficult part, that is starting, and then you start feeling that it wasn't that bad. Obviously, you won't be that good because you need a lot of practice, but the sensation while you are doing that you were afraid to do, it's you say, okay, I am already doing that. Maybe I feel uncomfortable now, but it wasn't that bad, or at least I already started. So I think, in my personal opinion, it's try, at least try once, try small, and try to repeat that again and again. That would be Yeah, that would be my 50 cents.
Yes. Well, for me, a small step someone can take to start building more confidence. Well, as long as I love to study, I think mm, when that moment arrives, I start to study about some situation, about some about some area that I want to build more confidence, and then I start to find someone to ask to talk about it. For example, you mentioned about the IELTS exam. So I have a person who lived the cousin of my wife. He did that exam 2 years ago, and coincidentally, I talked with him yesterday, and he told me that the worst part was the writing part because even in Portuguese he didn't practice so much. But the okay, when you go to the YouTube, some platform, some video platform, we can watch a lot of videos, the people speaking, the people in the speaking part. So and for example, when you go there and find someone who take the score, the bench score in about 9.5, it intimidates you a little bit at beginning because we feel, oh, this guy is so great, so I will never achieve that kind of level. But then, like you said, after a lot of practice every day, we are accustomed to do it and to answer the question like that examiner they want to do. So I think yes, to study, to build a confidence, to study a lot, to find someone to discuss about it. I think today we have some, for example, WhatsApp groups WhatsApp that we can find a lot of people. Uh, for example, in my work, when I have some questions about some process, I already have my community, the people who studied with me at university. I forgot the name of it. My work, not link work, but okay. And with them, I can take some advices and the suggestions about it. So I think that's it. And about you, Luis, that question.
Well, I think that the small step is the first step. You need to give it the first step and try to understand what you want to reach and what your goals for that subject or activity, and and make it do your best. I think that is what you need. For instance, when I started to repair my own motorcycle, was very difficult for me, but I challenged myself a little bit and I start to make small repairs in the after big repairs, but I needed to start it, you know. I think the first step is the more important, and be consistent. Use constancy to always improve what you need what you need to do. You know.
Yes, great. Uh, guys, I'm going to read and answer the next question. Question 4. Have you ever done something that scared you but turned out to be a great experience? Yes, for sure. I remember I had a big fear to drive in a long distance, for example, go to another state and to drive on the highway. Because in Brazil, the highway used to be in a poor condition with a lot of holes and things like that. And we always see some news on television or on the internet about some disasters, some accidents. And because that, since I was a kid, I remember seeing a lot of that sad news, disasters. So, but let me see, 8 years ago, my family and I had a chance to go to Rio de Janeiro. We found a place there, a house with a good price to hire it for 7 days. So my wife, my brother, my sister-in-law, they put some pressure on me because in those days I had a big car. So I had I only have that chance to take that place, that people with my car. So I did it for the first time. It was a little, how can I say in English? I don't know. Traumatizant for me, scary for me. But okay, I stayed away for that things for the next 5 years, 7 years, and the last year, 2024, I had the same opportunity to visit Cabo Frio. It was Cabo Frio, and but today I have a excellent car, and I didn't have so much. I continue to have so much experience, but I agreed to do it again. And in this opportunity, I did well. I think because I use the Waze app, I think it helped me a lot to find that as not surveillance cameras, but speed cameras. Uh, the, there were there was approximately 100, more than 100 speed cameras, Belo Horizonte to Cabo Frio. So it's very possible to some of them take you in above the limit speed, and you need to pay that fine. But fortunately, it happened well, and I did it twice the last week, the last year, and this year I went to Cabo Frio again 1 month ago, and now I feel more comfortable. I feel more confident. It's because I already know the highway. I already know all the dangerous place, the dangerous curves. So I think that's it for me. And about you, Liz?
Yes, I think that the last one fear that I overcome was being in front of a webcam because I'm a very introvert guy and I spent a lot of years on public service, and for me it was a very difficult. By the way, it's very difficult, and I think that is was very hard for me being in front of camera, but here talk, I developed this skill because I don't like to speak a lot in the front of the webcam, and I'm here every day, so every day I'm gaining a little bit of confidence, and I think it's that.
Yeah, I think to talk with the public, the audience, it's very hard. I also have fear about that. And about you, Christian?
Yeah, me too. I am not that talkative person. And every time that I need to express myself in public, it's really, really tough. I think that in general, for those who work in IT area or we work remotely, it's a syndrome that we create, I think. But here in on Zoom, I feel more comfortable because I'm here in my house, I'm here in my place. So yeah, but regarding the question, I'm gonna talk about the time that I had to move to Curitiba. I was living in Sao Paulo because my job is over there. The building of my job is there. So that's why when we arrived to Brazil, we got there in Sao Paulo. It was in the countryside, and then we decided to come here to Curitiba just for visiting because my wife, she has an uncle who lives here. He's Bolivian as well, So he invited us to visit Curitiba. He already told us about the beauty of Curitiba. I've never heard about Curitiba before because when I was living in Bolivia, I just heard about Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, but I never heard about this city, nor the state of Paraná. So I we said, okay, let's do it. And we were in a one point of our life that it was so difficult for my wife to face the situation of being unemployed because she came with me and she has to leave her employee there in Bolivia, her profession as well, because she works in education area. So for those who has that for those who does this kind of transition or moving to from one country to another one, it's difficult to find a job opportunity because they have to reevaluate their certificates or study from scratch something new. It's so she did that for coming here to Brazil with me. So when we got Curitiba, she had the opportunity to do an interview, and she passed the interview. And in just 2 weeks, we had to decide to move to Curitiba from Sao Paulo to Curitiba. So that situation that was so scary to for me because all of the moving was on me, and I didn't knew nobody here. I didn't knew anybody here in Curitiba. It was just 2 weeks that we spent here, so I had to think really seriously how how would I had to face that moment, do all of the moving, may I try to find a new apartment, do all of the bureaucratic part of closing my contract of the apartment in Sao Paulo. All of that part was on me. So I was so scared about that. But at the final of the story, we are living here for already for almost two years, and I really enjoy living here. The weather for me is perfect here because Sao Paulo is so hot. Yeah, and we are both together working, so it's in the financial part, it's perfect for us. We are just us. We don't have children, so we are saving good money for our future plans. So yeah, that's that experience that I had to face in the past.
Yeah, I thought at the beginning it was very difficult to live in a place where you don't know and not anyone and won't have a supportive support network to help you in something and also to live away from your family, from your the people your friends and people you really love. Uh, Christian, could you read and answer the next question for us, please?
Sure, let's do it. How do you put yourself out of your comfort zone? So I watched a video on YouTube. It's of the channel is called TED Talks. I'm sure that you know those kind of talks because there are a lot of English content that is so good to listen to. So I remember that was a woman who talked about justly about getting out of your comfort zone, and she taught the way that she normally does that it's she has a mantra like something that he repeats every time that she feels that fear, and the mantra goes like this. Oh, what the heck I am doing. I will do it anyway. Oh, what the heck I will do it anyway. And she says that she repeats that every time that feels that, and after repeating 3 times, she just go. And that really touched me because I think that you really need that impulse. You really need that push, and nobody will be there for saying that for you. So I started doing kind of the same with the same words, And yeah, I every time that I need to do that, I really feel afraid to do it. I said, oh, what the heck, I will do it anyways. I need to do that anyways. I think the feeling of being really doing that, as I already said in my last answers, it's not that bad when you were just before thinking so much or overthinking about doing something. So I try to do the same. Yeah, I use the same mantra and so the same strategy to do the activity that I feel afraid of.
Yes. Well, for me, I think what pushed me to my comfort zone, firstly, it's my family because when I have some feeling to always be active, to improve, to always be to have that to I think to capitalize the chance, the moment to improve some skills because the competition on the job market it continue to exist in any time. So I feel I have that feeling since when I was a kid. Well, my family, my brother and I, we didn't pass for some starving problems, but I remember that we didn't have so much things, for example, to have access for some delicious things. We have food in our job, in our house. We didn't have problems with food, but I remember my parents facing some financial problems, but I internalize it. And today I try as much as possible to continue my studies, to be a good professional, to attract opportunities. So it push me to my comfort zone. I confess that it's hurt a lot because I think it's comfortable to stay in our comfort zone, and it when we stay in that comfort zone, the years fly so fast that we realize it after 5 years. And then when something happens in your job and we need to go to the job market to find an opportunity, we could see that we stay away from that new things that happening, new abilities that the company are requiring for the professionals. So I think first my family. I think secondly that feeling I have in myself. I think that's it. And about you, Liz?
Well, guys, well, my biggest fear is being unemployed, and sometimes when I realize that I don't have more challenge in my work is when I try to improve my skills and be more updated about the mark job and these things because another fear that I have is become obsolete, you know, because in tech area it's very easy you become obsolete very fast. And when I realized that the things are changing very fast, I started to, well, I need to study, I need to start studying because the future, yes, I am a very anxious guy. And every day I start to think, well, Brazil will bankrupt very fast. Brazil is very fragile in economic things. And every time I think, well, I need to improve these skills to be able to find another job and this kind of things. And I try not to I try to not be 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 in comfortable zone too much, So every time I like to start new things to study, I like to start looking for new jobs, new possibilities, something like that.
Yes, good, Luis. For the next question, Luis, could you read and answer. It could be some of them number 6 to 10. You
Uh,
can choose.
uh, okay, I will choose the question number 7. How do past failures or mistake impact your confidence? Well, I think that's very important because you know what went wrong. So so you need only to continue trying, always trying, and never give it up because life is hard and we need to deal with it and just going on.
Yes, good, Luis. And about you, Christian?
So I think that accepting failure, it's crucial when we want to achieve something important. Because if it's that important or if it's that difficult, it's because you need to work a lot. And so I think that with time, you start learning how to handle failure, and you start thinking about that maybe that failure will take you to that maybe job dream that you are looking for, or maybe that important test that you need to pass. So, in my personal opinion, it can be something that at the beginning can make you feel bad, overwhelmed, frustrated, but it's something that, without any doubt, we need to learn how to handle. Because, all of the things that we want to do for that it are in our dreams, all of them are difficult. And why are difficult? Well, they are difficult. It's something I always tell my wife. As I already said, we want to move to another country. So making that important step is not that easy. And every time that she asks me when we are going to start that, I don't know how to answer that question, because I am failing every single day. For example, in my writing tests, but every day I need to understand that failure will take me to that big dream that is living abroad, living in another country. So yeah, it's failure is part of our is part of the journey. We need to learn how to live with that and how to handle failure in our lives. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think it's very important. I think, like you said, it makes part of your life. And what I can see clearly about the new generation, they avoid to mistake, but they avoid it to go to some for to enter in some area and start to doing different thing, a new thing, because they have fear of failure. Because I think living that digital world, they have some role model that show them only their success and not and don't show them their failures, and they think failure is not a common thing that happen in the with the people. And when something wrong happen with them, that young people, I think it uh, affect a lot their confidence. But I agree the good side of mistakes, failures, that it make us to, how can I say, to have a different vision. I think to build a different way to face it. Failure has a power to for us to maintain us, I think, humble, uh, to maintain humility. I don't know what to say in English. Humility. And also when you find ways to face it, to understand. I think mistakes will happen. It always will happen with us, even in the area we already dominated, we already mastered. because the field continue to evolving. There is no thing that it's continue to be static, especially in that world that the technology has impacted, completely impacted all the areas. So it's important to understand failure and mistake that it has a big power to, I think, to maintain us humility and continue our journey. Maybe I'd say that. Guys, I'm going to read the next question. Uh, how do you balance confidence with humility? Well, yes, it's a good question because there are some people who are very arrogant in their areas. I think arrogance is not is uh, we can we can achieve a good level, an excellent level, for example, in your area. But like I said, the thing continues to evolving, and we can be good in that moment, but after some years, when we don't follow the progress, we could be obsolete person. So I think confidence with humility, I think it's important to know that when we start to work in some position, we start at the beginning, like assistance, like and someone we need for someone to help you, to teach you. So it's important to maintain that process, to continue to have that humility, to take some time for to teach the others and to give them good advice in order to help them to improve their abilities, to help them in their growth. So I think yeah, to have confidence in your balance, I think balance confidence, humility is to be good in something, but also to understand that someone needs you to teach. I think to pass your knowledge and experience. What are your opinion about that, Luis?
Well, I think when you have a lot of confidence, but this confidence is related to something like arrogance and this kind of things, is very useless because confidence without connection with another people's another people is very useless because every time you need to be kind with people who are around us because our life is shared and if you think about our work environments, we need to have open doors to make our job or have a very good relationship with your team and this kind of things, so if you are just arrogant, you no longer, I think.
Yes, that's it. And your opinion about that question, Christian?
So something that I normally do when I feel that I am starting to be arrogant, it's firstly remembering something that my father always told me, that is never forget where you come from. So it's something that I normally do, that it's remembering how I started. It's important to stay humble. Another one is that normally come to my mind is as well that there will be always somebody else who do who does that you think that you are good at better than you. So that's as well made me stay humble. As well, I have my wife who always tell me when I kind of act like an arrogant person. So I have my wife who tells me you are acting like this. You don't need to you don't need to do that. Or you didn't need to tell that in that way, or maybe your expression or something. So those are some maybe resources that I use. Well, my wife she's not a resource, but thinking about how I began, thinking about as well that there will be someone else who does that specific task or that specific skill better than me, uh, make me stay humble. That's it. That's it.
Yes, good. And Christian, I think we have time for one more question. And could you choose one and read the answer for us, please?
Yeah, let's read the last one. What situation were you faked confidence until you actually left it? What situation? What's a situation where you faked confidence until you actually felt it? Let me see if I understood well this question. Um, I remember, yeah, when I this the last year I became a tech lead in my job, and obviously I was not ready for that. So I had to fake that I was confident enough to take that position for at least 7 months, I would say, because nobody teaches you to be a tech leader. It's something that you have to really face and start learning from in flesh, I would say. So nowadays, I don't consider myself as like that good tech lead. I'm still trying to improve my skills, different skills, soft and hard skills. But obviously, I'm not that tech lead that I was when I I started in that position. So yeah, I think it's a good example. That's my point.
Yeah, for me, I remember when I started to work in my first job. I made I did an interview, and my boss, he asked me something. He already know that I didn't have so much experience, but I remember that I had courageous enough to face to start that new project, to work for the first time in the accounting field. And I remember I had time to search a lot of things, to call for some people who helped me a lot, and to assemble some process in order to start to understand how to calculate some taxes, to to study about some fiscal laws, about the system, and how the government used to track the flow of the movement of the money from the companies, and in order to know if something is wrong or is good. So yeah, for me, it was one of the examples I have, that I feel confident until I didn't feel so confident until I had to do that. And about you, Luis?
Well, sometimes in some meets I need to fake a lot of confidence because uh, usually the things don't work the way that you need to the things need to be. And when you are in the front of the stakeholders in the high level uh, directors from the company, you need to always show show confidence. You can't show any kind of weakness. And I think it's this. I think it's a lot of meetings I need to fake some confidence.
Yes. So, guys, this was my first time, like as a host in Talk Talk. Thank you very much for your participation, Luis and Christian. I'm very happy, very pleased. So, and we will see you soon in other immersions. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.